Right, I'm going to explain magnetic field lines. What is magnetic field line? Magnetic field line definition is the path traced by unit north pole. The path traced by unit north pole kept at a point. The path traced by unit north pole kept at a point in magnetic field. The path traced by unit north pole kept at a point in magnetic field. Kept at a point in magnetic field is called as magnetic field line. Magnetic field line. Okay. The path traced by unit north pole kept at a point in magnetic field is called as magnetic field lines. Let us see the magnetic field lines how they are. Let us take this is a bar magnet. This is the north pole of the bar magnet and this is the south pole, right? And here if you keep one unit north pole at here, that north pole is repelled by the north and attracted by the south. This is a bar magnet. I kept one unit north pole in the magnetic field. How? Okay, what I am doing it here, I am placing one unit north pole in magnetic field. Magnetic field where it is around the magnetic field is there. In that magnetic field I kept the unit north pole. That unit north pole will travel in certain direction, certain path. That path along which the unit north pole travel, the path traced by unit north pole, that means the path along which the unit north pole can travel in the magnetic field, that path is called as the magnetic field line. This unit north pole if you kept near the magnet, that unit north pole repelled by the north and attracted by the south. When north repels, then it will go away from the north, and south attracts, that's why it will go towards south. Then it will follow certain path, that is it will go from north to south. It will start at the north, right? It will go towards the south like this, right? The field line starts at the north and ends at the south in the outside. Inside the bar magnet they will go from south to north. Like this the field lines are there. Outside they will go from north to south. Inside they will go from south to north. Inside south to north. This you drawn in 10th class only, right? You know very well. Field lines starts at the north and ends at the south. Look at here. So these are the field lines due to bar magnet. Field lines due to bar magnet. Magnetic field lines. These are the magnetic field lines. Right? Magnetic field lines. Outside they will go from north to south. Inside they will go from south to north. Okay. Let us discuss some properties of magnetic field lines. Right. Let us start. The properties are very important. That also you learned in the 10th class. But let us revise them. The first point is that magnetic field lines are closed curves. Magnetic field lines are closed curves. Right? Magnetic field lines are closed curves. Closed curves means they are closed like this. Why they are closed? Because magnetic field lines are closed curves. Outside they will go from where to where? Outside they will start at north and ends at the south. Okay. Outside they will start at the north and ends at the south. Outside of the magnet. And inside the magnet they will go start at the south and ends at the north. That's why they are the closed curves. Okay, right. The second property is that the tangent drawn at any point on the field line. Okay, if we draw the tangent on the magnetic field line, what it will indicates? Okay, the tangent drawn at any point, the tangent drawn at any point on magnetic field line, gives the direction of magnetic field or induction. Direction of magnetic field or induction. It will give the B direction. B is the magnetic induction. Magnetic field strength, right? That can be measured by the value of B. If you draw the tangent at any point, for example, if you want to know the field direction, this magnet can generate the magnetic field. I want to know the field strength. That one term is there that will show the field strength. That is the magnetic field or the magnetic induction. That is a B, right? And that if we draw the tangent at any point on the field line, for example, we draw the tangent at here. Tangent means what? It is a line. It touches at one point. Right now, it is a line touches at one point. That is called as, there is a line which touches at one point on the field line. That is called as magnetic field line. Let us draw it. Let us draw the tangent at this point. Then here we will get the tangent like this. This is a tangent, right? It will show the direction of the magnetic field. The tangent drawn at any point gives the direction of the magnetic field at that point. Okay, for example, if you want to know the direction of the magnetic field at some other point, for example, if you want to know the direction of the magnetic field at this point, okay, then what I have to do? I have to draw the tangent. And what is the direction of the tangent? You know, the field lines start outside at the north and they will go towards the south. Let us see here. If we draw the tangent at this point, we have to draw like this. This is the tangent drawn. It will indicate the direction of the magnetic field at this point. That means by using the magnetic field lines, we can find out the direction of the magnetic field or the induction. Next, let us go for the third property. What is that third property? The third property is that magnetic field lines never intersect with each other. Right? Field lines do not intersect with each other. Magnetic field lines never intersect with each other. Magnetic field lines never intersect with each other. They never intersect with each other. Why they not intersect with each other? Magnetic field lines never intersect with each other. What is the reason? Okay, for example, because if they intersect, at the point of intersection, field should have two directions, but it is not possible. Right now, you know very well. I think all the points you know previously. Magnetic field lines never intersect with each other. because if they intersect, field should have two directions, but it is not possible, right? Magnetic field lines never intersect with each other, because if they intersect at the intersecting point, at the intersecting point, field should have two directions. Field should have two directions, but it is not possible. Field never have two directions at one point, but it is not possible. I will explain clearly, okay? You will understand at that moment what I am telling it here. That the first point is that what I am telling, the third point, the magnetic field lines never intersect. Magnetic field lines never intersect with each other. Why? Because for example, this is a field line, right? And this is a field line. They are intersecting with each other. Now we can draw the tangent for this line, for the first line. Okay, then the field will be like this there. This is the field due to first line. If you draw the tangent for the second one, right? If you draw the tangent for the second one, the field will be like this there. Right, on the second line I draw the tangent, right? At single point, two tangents because of intersecting, right? This is a one line, field line. This is another field line. They never intersect with each other like this. They never cross with each other. One line is going like this, other line will never cut the first line, right? Then why? Because the tangent drawn at a point on the field line gives the direction of the magnetic field. But if you draw the two lines intersect, this is a one magnetic field line, okay, and this is another magnetic field line, and they are intersecting two black lines. Then when they at the point of intersection we draw the tangent for both, then two tangents, two directions for the field at single point. At this point we are getting the two directions, but practically at one point the field should have only one direction. That's why the field lines never intersect with each other. Magnetic field lines never intersect with each other, because if they intersect at the point of intersection, at the intersecting point magnetic field should have two directions. Magnetic field P should have two directions, but practically it is not possible. Magnetic field at one point it has only one direction. Next one is the last property, that is fourth property is if the field lines are crowded, okay, if the field lines are crowded, then at that point, right, the field strength is more. Okay, for example, we are taking, if the field lines are crowded at one point, based on the number of field lines we can say the strength of the magnetic field. If field lines are crowded, okay, very nearer to each other, okay, crowded means they are nearer to each other, okay, nearer to each other, where the field lines are closer, nearer to each other, there the field strength is more. Okay, field strength is more. Field strength means magnetic induction. Magnetic field is more. If the field lines are far away from each other, right? If the field lines are far away from each other, right? They are not crowded. At that moment, in that region, right? In that region, the region where the field lines are crowded, there the field strength is more strong field, and if the field lines are far away from each other, right, there the density of the field lines is less, then at that moment the field strength also less. Field strength or the magnetic induction is also less. That means based on the number of field lines, we can say that based on the field lines, whether they are closer or far away from each other, we will say whether the field is strong or weak. For example, if we draw the field lines like this, these are the field lines, okay, like this there, all the field lines are parallel to each other, then at that moment this field is said to be uniform field, uniform magnetic field. All the field lines are parallel to each other, separation between them is constant. Then for example, if you take the 2 points, at this point the field b1 and at this point field b2, if you take, then the b1 is equal to b2, we have to write there the field strengths are equal, that is the field is constant. But if the field lines are like this there, for example, if the field lines are like this there, look at here very carefully. Look at here, the field lines are like this there. What happening at here, at this location, the field lines are closer, right, at the beginning, but here the separation is increased. Now where the field lines are closer, there the field is strong. If the field lines are far away from each other, at that location the field is weak. Here it is a strong field and here it is weak field, that means the field strength is less. Okay, that means we say that the b1 is greater than b2, and here we say that this is a non-uniform magnetic field. Non-uniform magnetic field, field strength is not same. Okay, non-uniform magnetic field. Clear, Babu? Yes or no? Everybody, voice and everything is clear now? Okay, this is about what is magnetic field lines and write their properties. Right, field lines means what and what are their properties. Right. Next, let us go for the one more topic, magnetic flux. Next topic is the magnetic flux. Before going to start the magnetic flux, I want to know about the electric flux that you already learned in the first chapter. Students, can anyone tell the definition of the electric flux and also say the formula for the electric flux? Okay, actually electric flux and magnetic flux both are denoted with the phi, but electric flux we write phi suffix e, magnetic flux phi suffix b we write. Students, anybody? Huh? What is electric flux? Don't know anybody? Hmm? What happened? Electric flux, don't know. Gas law applications, before that it will be there. Electric field lines, properties and electric flux. Yes or no? Tell me first. Electric flux formula what? Okay. Then no problem. I will tell myself. The magnetic flux means the number of magnetic field lines. The number of magnetic field lines. The number of magnetic field lines passing normally through a given area is called as magnetic flux. Clear, Babu? This is the definition of the magnetic flux. What is that? The number of magnetic field lines passing normally through a given area, that is called as a magnetic flux. For example, we are taking certain area, right? Here you see here. This is a certain area we are taking, okay? And certain paper, certain area we will take, right? And for this area vector direction is this one. This is the direction of the area vector, okay? and here the field we are applying like this. The field direction is this is the direction of the magnetic field that we applied. This is the direction of the magnetic field. This is the area vector. There is some angle is there between them. Now, how many lines passing through this surface? Right, through this surface. Their count is said to be magnetic flux. Magnetic flux is nothing but number of lines passing through a particular surface. Right? Then there is a formula is there for the magnetic flux. Magnetic flux formula in uniform magnetic field. Right? In uniform magnetic field. If field is uniform, we write the formula as B bar dot A bar. B is the magnetic induction, A is the area vector. Okay, theta is the angle between the B bar and A bar. This is the formula for the magnetic flux. Okay, in non-uniform magnetic field, when magnetic field is variable, what we write here? If the magnetic field is variable, we have to take the small area, that is a ds. Through the small area we have to find out the magnetic flux first. That is the magnetic flux through the small surface area is B bar dot ds bar we have to take. Then the total magnetic flux we write like this. That is integration B bar dot ds bar. We have to do the integration. Okay. What is B in this and what is A? Where B is the magnetic induction, B is the magnetic induction, P is the magnetic induction, A bar is the area vector. What is area vector? Anybody says what is area vector? What is area vector? That you learned in the first chapter. Area vector means its magnitude equal to surface area and direction perpendicular to surface. The magnitude of area vector equal to surface area, and the direction of area vector is always perpendicular to surface. For example, this is area, then area vector will be like this there. If this is surface, then area vector is always perpendicular to surface or the plane. Area vector is always perpendicular to plane. Then what is the unit of this one? What is the unit of magnetic electric flux formula is what? Electric flux formula is E bar dot A bar. Electric flux integration formula integration E bar dot ds bar. Right? These are the electric flux formulas. Similar to this, it will be there. Now the SI unit of the magnetic flux. SI unit is Weber. Okay, WB. Okay, or otherwise we can write here flux formula BA. Right? Flux is the Weber. 1 Weber is equal to magnetic induction unit is Tesla. 1 Tesla into area unit is 1 meter square. 1 Weber equal to, we write as 1 Tesla meter square. 1 Weber is equal to 1 Tesla meter square. Okay. This is about magnetic flux. Let us go for the Gauss law in magnetism. Gauss law in magnetism. We learned the Gauss law in electricity. Now I am going to explain Gauss law in magnetism. What is Gauss law in electricity? In electric charges and fields, we learned the Gauss law. Anybody? Okay, that means you are not reading anything, right? Very good. The total magnetic flux. The total magnetic flux through any closed surface. The total magnetic flux through any closed surface is equal to total magnetic flux through any closed surface is equal to 0. The total magnetic flux through any closed surface is equal to 0. Okay, very simple it is. The total magnetic flux is the 5 suffix b we can take, that is integration b bar dot ds bar. This is always equal to 0. This is the Gauss law in magnetism. Okay, do you know Gauss law in electricity? Gauss law in electricity, anybody knows? Gauss law in electricity. Anybody knows? We learned the Gauss law in electricity, right? In the first chapter only. I want to know the Gauss law. Anybody? Okay, I am waiting for the answer. Alok, are you there? Huh? Baby Mato? Vishal? What is E bar dot ds bar? Right. Electric flux. Yes, right. What is Q? Hmm? It's normal charge, outside charge or inside charge or what charge? There is some condition is there. The total electric flux or the net electric flux. The total electric flux through any closed surface. Tell me. Any closed surface is equal to the 1 by epsilon naught times of net charge enclosed by that surface. Right, this is the Gauss law in electricity. Gauss law in electricity, electric flux by suffix E, that is equal to integration E bar dot ds bar. The total electric flux through any closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times of charge enclosed. Right? Simply, we can also write integration E bar dot ds bar is equal to 2 by epsilon naught. Right? This is the formula for which shows mathematical form of Gauss law in electricity. In magnetism, the total magnetic flux equal to 0. But in electricity, the total electric flux through any closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon times of net charge enclosed by the surface. Why always magnetic flux is 0 and why electric flux may or may not equal to 0? Let us see the difference. Difference between Gauss law in magnetism and electricity. in magnetism and electricity. What is the difference? The first point is that in magnetism, right? Magnetic flux equal to 0. Why? Magnetic flux always equal to 0. Magnetic flux is equal to 0 because isolated poles does not exist. The reason is that isolated magnetic poles does not exist. This is the reason. Isolated magnetic poles does not exist. Isolated magnetic poles does not exist. That means, for example, this is the north pole, this is the south pole. Okay, and one north pole will not exist. If only north pole is there, if you take a closed surface, right? If only north pole is there, right? Field line starts from the north. If you take a closed surface like this, if you take a closed surface, then some lines are passing through the closed surface. Then how many lines are passing through the closed surface? That count only called as magnetic flux. But in the reality, this isolated magnetic pole does not exist. North pole is there along with the south pole is there. At that moment, what happens? For example, if you take a closed surface around the north, then how many field lines are passing away from the closed surface? Again, that means will come back into the field, into the closed surface. This is a closed surface. This is a closed surface. Then field lines starts at north, going out from the outside, going out from the closed surface, and again return back and enter into the closed surface. How many lines are leaving? That many lines are entering. That is the leaving number of lines is the we can take as the in positive, and inward we can take negative. The total we will get is if two lines are going away, then two lines will comes into the closed surface. That's why the total magnetic flux is 0. Here you see 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines are going away due to north pole. But if south pole is there, right? South pole also there. That's why again these 5 lines come back. When they will come back, what happens? Tell me. Then how many lines are leaving? That many lines are coming. Then the total flux will become 0. Right? If isolated poles are there, then only north pole is there. Then lines will start from the north and goes to the south. Only south is there, then south will enters. But here, only south and north poles are not exist. That's why the flux never be. Here flux is not equal to 0. When isolated pole exists, if isolated pole not exist, then flux equal to 0. So one thing you remember that if the two poles are there, due to one pole, if the lines leaves, due to other pole, the lines enters. That's why total magnetic flux always equal to 0. This will indicates that the poles does not exist. Isolated poles does not exist. Isolated means only north pole, only south pole not exist. If exist, then it is possible that flux never be 0, right? Because magnetic flux is 0, that indicates isolated poles not exist. Isolated magnetic poles does not exist. Isolated magnetic poles do not exist. Right now? Now, second point is that right in electricity, okay, electric flux may or may not equal to 0. Electric flux may not equal to 0 because isolated positive and negative isolated positive comma isolated negative charges exist. Only positive charge exists, only negative charges exist. That's why electric flux never be zero. You see here, only positive charge exists. Yes or no? Only positive charge is available. No need to of the negative charge. Proton has only positive charge. For example, any element you take, if you remove one electron, it will become positive charge. Positive charges are available. Only positive charge is available. Only positive charge is available means then this is the closed surface we are taking. Then when you take the closed surface like this, right, then the lines starts from the positive charge and they will move towards the negative charge. That means the how many lines are leaving through the closed surface, that much flux will be there. But here in this closed surface, negative charge may not exist because isolated positive charges exist. But in this case, if isolated north pole not exist, north and south both are exist. If you take any closed surface, how many lines are leaving? That many lines enters. That's why magnetic flux is zero. Here electric flux is not equal to zero. Now the formula is that electric flux formula is that is 1 by epsilon times of charge enclosed, right? This is the electric flux formula. This is may not equal to zero. If there is how much positive charge is there, if that much negative charge is there, then electric flux also zero. Electric flux also zero when if negative charge also present. But it is not compulsory to present the negative charge because only positive charge, only negative charge exist in the electricity. But in the magnetism, only north pole, only south pole not exist. All magnetic poles always exist in the pairs, not single. Okay, this is today's topic.